Yeah. Oh, there we go. We're live, I think. I don't know if I can. Can I expand this? I think I can. Ah, there we go. Just what everybody wanted to see my face. So, yeah. I think we're live. I can check my phone to verify, but believe so. For those out there, this is a Tet Talk for February, and I have Sim with me. He has no camera because he doesn't want the world to see how handsome he is. Don't want everybody running to his house trying to copulate or snuggle him, cozy den style. So even when he talks, I think it's gonna be on me, right? Say something. How's it going? Right.
How's it going?
Yeah, how's it going? Yeah, so you get to see me unless somebody else pops on. Matt said she's too tired, and I believe she's on a bus, so you're not going to see her tonight, I guess. We'll see when she gets home if we're still on here, if she can be pried to come on. But nothing really on the agenda, so to speak. I was just finishing some last minute things because I have a game tomorrow to set up. Sim, you got anything to say to our audience out there?
Well, tomorrow is my reprisal of a infamous character from Dark Heresy.
Yes.
In the game.
Yeah. So we are doing a Dark Heresy one-shot-ish thing from a campaign of mine from 2 years ago, a short campaign. And Sim, why don't you explain what happened in that game? We're doing it just kind of because another game got canceled and it was requested, so I did it. But Sim, why don't you explain kind of what happened?
Well, I do believe it was one of my first games with B&B. One of the first few. Wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was. I don't think I was afternoon sim yet. Daytime sim.
I don't know. You tell me. What was it? Was February 2018.
Yep. No daytime. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I was here and there playing on the weekends as much as I could, or whenever I had a holiday or vacation. So, but yeah. So it was my first time playing Dark Heresy, and I flubbed it. I was playing a super sneaky, agile character that, primed to sneak up and either A, kill a guy about to release some noxious gas to kill how many millions of people?
I don't know. A lot. Yeah.
Sprint over to a door and lock it so the rest of the party come in there and do what I didn't do. And instead, I looked outside the box and tried to make conversation with the guy.
Very outside the box. What did you say?
Oh, it was something along the lines of, I'll even try to go in the voice if I remember correctly. Hey, how's it going?
But the best is the follow-up to that. You said, "Is that a bomb?" Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And then he detonated such bomb, and it proceeded to kill half the players and maim the rest of them. So, good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, and I guess the best part was I got saved by somebody who nobody expected to save it.
Yes.
So I'll keep him nameless.
Yes.
Forever.
He is our first Canadian player. Much better than Matt, so she sees this, see what she'll say about that. So we're going to play some Dark Heresy 2nd Edition. I do enjoy 2nd Edition Dark Heresy quite a bit. Character generation is really cool compared to first. All the 1st Edition 480k games, and this is from FFG time period, they all came down this tree, and it was kind of the tree usually split in the middle, and you could go one path versus the other path, but it wasn't nearly as interesting as this is, because in second edition you can pick anything you want. It just costs more, and it's varying degrees of more depending on what aptitudes you have. I think that's what they're called, aptitudes. So you might have 2 or 3 different aptitudes, and so I think it's also based on your birth and that sort of thing, like if you're a Voidborn or Forge World, stuff like that. So I do enjoy it. We haven't played it for almost 2 years, so will be fun. And if you have a copy, a hardback copy of second edition, and you don't want it, please message me on YouTube. And if it's a reasonable price, I will purchase it from you, because I cannot find it for anything less than $100 anywhere. So I did find it, and it had a split on the spine, and it still went for like $75.
Holy smokes!
Yeah,
that's a high commodity right there.
It really is. And on Drive-Thru-RPG, which you can get the PDF on Drive-Thru-RPG, you can follow our link on our our Dark Heresy character creation tutorial, and it'll take you to the Dark Heresy Second Edition core rulebook. You can get it there on PDF, but and all the 40K games from FFG are being sold now by Cubicle 7, I believe. So you can get it, but the hardcover, not easy to get. Not easy to get.
Have to keep my eyes peeled.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wrath and Glory, we have not played that yet. I'd like to give that a look. Maybe play some of that. Don't really know much about it. So let's see what our week entails. We can talk about that real quick. And this month. So new campaign this month is The Witcher, Season 2. I'm running that. Ending just yesterday was Sundered Sands Demon Gate by Ghost. I don't think there's any other new games starting. The Cult mini-series might be ending. That's Burning Passions, I believe. Yeah, and it's just after that, it's kind of status quo. Cult GLH and Masks. And that's about it. Chaos 6010 AD as well. So, yeah. It's really
Mask starting to become the longest running one.
It already is. It's 42 sessions, distinct videos. Technically, it's probably more sessions, but Darren has combined some of them. But yeah, it's 42 videos. There's a couple chapter something 0.5 in there. But yeah, I think it's on chapter 40, something like that.
Yeah, I lost count. I don't got enough fingers and toes for all that.
Yeah, I can look. Let's see. Maybe somebody can tell me. No, I don't know.
It's all on their one playlist, right?
Yeah. So Masks is Nyarlathotep. Tep. Episode 38. But there's 42 episodes, so there were several 0.5s in there.
Yeah, we keep splitting up like bad RPGers, tabletop RPGer.
Well, it's Call of Cthulhu. You have to fuck up, right? That's the whole point. So.
Yeah, we got spit in the face of danger, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
My YouTube is spinning in circles right
now. Yeah. So yeah, so Sim, what's been happening?
Oh, not much. Just trying to get back in the swing of playing some games. Been kind of absent a little bit lately, so we'll start changing it around a little bit.
You're back. You had 8 games last month. You're back in the
Yeah,
saddle.
I don't know. Looks like I'm gonna be kind of. I don't know. There's quite a few coming up. It's been a quiet couple weeks yet.
Yeah, it's been a little slow this month so far. I think it will. It might be kind of a slow month just in general. Just how it kind of happened to be. But yeah, we're playing tomorrow, and then you're playing GLH and Masks next week. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them. It is nice to get back in it.
oh yeah,
But yeah, but other than that, it's just between working and too much and getting up a little earlier, getting overtime and taking the kid off to school and stuff. So it's been eating all.
yeah. Morning times can be rough around B&B because there's not a lot of sleep involved, especially for people on the East Coast. So
Yeah, but it's still like the prime perfect time I think for all of us over here. Everything for the day is already dead down, so you don't have
yeah,
to worry about a lot of interruption.
yeah, yeah. I don't being like if it was any earlier than 8, I would have a real significantly difficult time most times, right? So
Oh, I can imagine.
yeah,
It's it's still early for everybody.
yeah, pretty much. Um, what else? We did add a system to our list. I was checking the other day. I think we're at 67 systems. So Dungeon Crawl Classics. Darren ran that out of the fan club. He did that a couple days ago, last week, something like that. So, yep. So we did play DCC. I don't know anything about it, but apparently it's more like a trap type of really a dungeon crawler kind of system. Pretty popular. So he ran that. So that added to our list. I don't know if we have anything coming up that will add to our list. People have been trying to get a Cypher system game together this weekend. Doesn't look like it's probably going to happen. That would have added to our list. But yeah.
Yeah, I eyeballed it a couple times. It's tempting, but I know I'm just gonna be sock busy during it. It's
Mhm.
the earlier game than usual.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, we would push it to the night, but then somebody can only play during the day. So it's like you lose one, you gain one. Doesn't help anything. So
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of like some games happening during the day. I think
yeah,
some people who knew it.
yeah. It's nice every once in a while. So, but we don't do much of it. But whatever. Yeah, I do have two. Well, I have 3 games not posted yet. They will be posted in the next few days. I'm waiting for someone, Matt, to send me the details and the title and description and all that stuff. So, um,
Slacking.
yep. No, I believe she's been out of town. So, those are coming. Sundered Sands will be tomorrow. So that'll drop tomorrow, and then an episode of Cult, and then an episode of Matt's meme B&B D&D game will be out. Apologize in advance. I came home pretty much as drunk as I've been in a long time, and I joined the game. Probably should not have. I couldn't even figure out the D&D sheet. I was like, where is the button? But yeah, I was like, how do I cast magic missile? So my first experience playing D&D 5e was that. So
Well, I think it's one of the perfect games that you can do that with. At least it's pretty simple to go through.
yeah.
But totally perfect for a meme game
Mm-hmm.
or a meme me game, as I like to call them.
Mimi. Mimi
Memes.
game. Mimi game.
That's Meg.
Fair. Yeah, I don't see any chat, so nobody's cares what we say, so perfect.
Have yet to pay attention yet.
Yeah. How dare you? What else? What else is there going on? Anything?
Call finishing. Yeah, I mean, you already mentioned there's no new games. I mean, it would be nice to see the Cypher game. So hopefully, if it doesn't get up there this weekend, maybe somewhere down the road we can.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of times it's hard to get one shots out in there. A lot of times, people just get busy. But we try. Like tomorrow, something got canceled, so put something in. I've got actually a couple ready, which is nice. I got that a D&D 3.5 game that's ready. That got queued up last month sometime for the first time. It just didn't get run because they didn't have enough players.
Yeah, one short.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, the premise is cool. We'll see. I mean, D&D is D&D 3.5, but
It'll be a new one for me at least.
that would be a new one for our system total too. I think that's why I did it mostly. And then I have a couple semi. They're kind of ready, kind of not, but close. Like when I do play testing for various games that I've been writing, and so that stuff's all there. I do like the mechanical play testing to make sure it all makes sense. So
yeah. So when can we expect the next Hero and Hardship game to come at us?
Probably a one shot. I mean, if that's what you mean, like the just the B&B game. So not sure. But
I look forward to those. Watching them or playing them. It's pretty. Get yourself a nice system. If I may add a little advertisement for it, there. It's nice, streamlined, and it's fun.
yeah. People who are interested in Heroes and Hardships, you've seen it around here. Plan is to release the quick start guide, and that would be pay what you want on DriveThru RPG. With it will come Death to Bushido, which will be an adventure for Heroes and Hardships. So they're going to be released at the same time in two separate different books. That way, if you just want to download the quick start guide, you can without paying anything. Death to Bushido will be probably $4.99, and you can use that with Death to Bushido if you want, or you can just take it and play it and see how you like it, and then hopefully sometime in the future, hopefully this year, there'll be a Kickstarter for that, and we'll use everything we learned from our play tests and your play tests from downloading it free, and go from there and change what we need to if there's anything that needs to be changed, which I'm sure there will be tweaking. So that's a general plan for Heroes and Hardships for this year. I just keep getting distracted with other side projects. But as far as games go, I might run Season 2 of Seeds of Rage with Heroes and Hardships. So that's generally my thought. But we'll see.
That could only improve it. Let me tell you. Caesar Ray, it's a little personal favorite of mine.
Yes. If you haven't seen Seeds of Rage, please look it up on our playlists. It's about a 10-episode sci-fi horror game based on the adventure Seeds of Rage, loosely, very loosely, by RPG Objects is the company. They have a system called Abandon All Hope, and we use that with the adventure Seeds of Rage, which is loosely, very loosely based on that adventure. Sim was in that, Ghost was in that, and Matt was in that, and he who shall not be named was in that game. So it was a good game. All very good role players. One of probably the best experiences as a GM that I've had, where I really didn't have to do anything. I could have honestly just sat there and let the game go 20, 30 sessions, and it would have. You guys would have found stuff to do. But I was like, I got to end this. I got other things I got to do. It wasn't ever supposed to be very long. And so I started kind of, pushing the plots to you guys. But you guys were fantastic, just trying to kill each other and trying to kill your inmates and, doing whatever, making prostitution rings and, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what you can do. Like, I'll say this time and time again: when you got good players and a good GM, you can make anything worthwhile.
Definitely.
Right? I mean, too many times you get, it's lopsided. Either you got a player or two that's kind of like too far out there, or you get a GM that's too far out there. But I mean, when you get it all together and everybody's on the same page, it goes smooth.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, it was fantastic. Every part of it, really. The system, I mean, I'm not here to disparage any system, but it was kind of clunky in the fact that we didn't really have a sheet for it. There's no sheet for it on Roll20, and I didn't spend a huge amount of time building one. So yeah, and in that regard, it was tough, but. I kind of plan, if I do it, and I keep talking about doing it, I was going to do it with Stars Without Number, but I might just do it with Heroes and Hardships. It'll force me to write my Insanity subsystem. So I have subsystems for Intrigue, and I have partially created subsystem for Magic. So I really need a subsystem for, horror-based stuff. So it's going to force me to do it. So.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's Heroes and Hardships. To me, so far, what I've seen and when I played, I love it. It's got a lot of my favorite mechanics. It's not clunky, and the subsystems, that you're going to be doing with it. It's a great way to, people be able to pick and choose and not have to like some systems out there where it's just like you have to try to piece it together. It fights itself,
Yeah, I think so. This is probably the third iteration of Heroes and Hardships. As far as like major changes, and when I first built it, and it was cool, but the subsystems didn't necessarily mimic the main system. So. And when I say main system, I'm like I include combat in that, I think. So and really the main thing, besides the dice pool, everything is going to use a dice pool, but I wanted the subsystems to look very similar in how they operated. So, for instance, when you take a wound in, Heroes and Hardships, you look, what's my wound level, what's my wound threshold, what's my injury level, well, what's my mortality threshold, those stats, well, in the Intrigue, they're the same, what's my stress level, and they all work the same way, and so a system that would use, Insanity would have, those stats. And so they would take mental wounds, and I don't know. I just felt that it makes everything kind of conceptually work better It's not like confusing. I don't have to remember how this works or this works. Oh, it's the same type of thing because it all has the same characteristics and fundamentals of how it works. So
plug and play.
yeah. So
almost what it seems like to me.
Well, hopefully it gets a lot more playtest. Planning on playtesting it live soon. Got snowed out the other day when we were supposed to do it, so.
It's gonna be a good test for it, I think, because it's like I mean, we got the advantages of Roll20s.
Yeah.
We got the macros and everything like that. So, I mean,
yeah, the AP is the thing, right? And I guess I'll just flash this. So, one of my things that I'm trying is that when somebody spends an AP or uses AP, their AP number goes up. Well, I have wooden discs. It just happened to be 2 3s, but you put this in front of yourself, and so that's what they're backwards, but that's what your AP is, right? And then you can just, so I have a bunch of those. That's one way, just kind of see how that looks. There's a lot of ways you can do it. You can write it down. You can, however, right?
I mean, truly, it's one of those things where you find your way, and whatever way works best,
Yeah.
But I mean, that's one of the things I like about it is I never, like, so far of all the games I played, the AP is relatively new. I've seen it in I think one other system, and now on Heroes and Hardships, and and actually that made me a huge fan of it because I think once you roll your initial initiative, it adds a lot of like another element to it.
Right.
Makes you think on your toes, makes you strategize, which is something I think like you can't just you can do the same thing over and over again, but it's like now it's like, well, I could go twice before my enemy goes if I do this and this.
Mm-hmm. And most AP systems are within a turn concept, so it's different. You might have APs, but okay, you have 5 APs per turn. Spend your APs, then it goes to the next person. It's not so interlaced, right? And I tell you, like, really, where I got the base idea from it was Boot Hill. Boot Hill's system generally is crazy, except for shootouts, except for like quickly shootouts. And I kind of got this idea from that. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar. And I don't know. I just kind of went from there. I wanted to do something different. Turns or, I don't know. They're fine. But this is truly something I feel that's unique. And hopefully it works. We'll see.
Hey, I think it does so far, at least. I mean, but I'm not the diehard, so it's like what works for me may not work for other people, but I think it will work for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's truly unique. I think it's truly adds another element. Doesn't it breaks up the monotony of some of these things that goes on.
Yeah.
So I think it's critically.
And you typically don't have to wait as long in combat for your action. Typically,
no.
You might not be doing as much, right? You're not attacking every time, but you're doing something, right? And then so it allows people to respond to things quicker. Like the combats all move more, right? So because this guy can aim again or move before you go, even though he might have already went before you, it's like it changes what you might do, and there's a lot more going on to react to, and it's just more dynamic, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But
yeah, and it keeps your attention too, because then you're paying attention to see that, so you can change it up to meet what you need adequately.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to like hawk Heroes and Hardships right now, but it's exciting. It's cool. Just need more focus. So yeah, what other systems can we talk about that we've played lately?
So how's cult playing now? I don't know if you did a TED Talk since
I
we
have
started.
not. Have we? I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
If so, it's been very very. It was very soon after. Um, Cult, as far as the genre is, extreme World of Darkness. Just, I mean, as bad as you can possibly imagine, right? We really haven't gotten there. I don't know if we will. It depends on how, I mean, comfortable Matt feels that she is doing those things. But the system itself is powered by Apocalypse. Which is interesting because it's first PBTA game I've really ever played. The interesting thing about it is it's very difficult to succeed. Like with no ramifications. 25%, really. Less than that, actually, because you roll 2d10 and a 15 to 20 succeeds. So, and then a 10 to like 14 succeeds, but there's some sort of negative that goes along with it. So, and then 9, below 9 just fails badly.
Yeah, I kind of do like that a little bit. Like it kind of adds like a degrees of the easy degrees of success, you know. So yeah, it's a little more dynamic to it.
Yeah, I haven't played it enough to really form much of an opinion about it. I mean, it's very different, right? It's, we've only gotten combat once, and it's very very abstract. But otherwise, I don't have much of an opinion. I like that. I like that it's difficult. It matches the theme of the game. I was very curious about why the designers of Divinity Lost decided to use PBTA. Although PBTA is for anybody can use it for the games, so it's an engine that runs and that's popular, and that's always good. Instead of you're creating your own like some fools. Yeah, I think it's suitable for the setting, and I think that's important. There's some systems that just don't go with some settings. That just doesn't make sense, right? So.
Yeah, and that's an important part for kind of like a semi-immersion aspect of it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I got limited, because I hate to, I can't say even though it's powered by Apocalypse, a lot of like cartel and stuff. It was really quite different than the one time we played Apocalypse World, which is also powered by the Apocalypse, and
it's the original one.
Yes,
I think.
And we only got a taste of it because after that it was this one game and that was done.
Well, plus, your experiences will vary, right? With who your GMs are. Right? So.
100%.
So.
Yeah, that was a futile effort, I think, on the player's part.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But Cult looked pretty good to me when I read it over. It's obviously it's different than when you're playing it, but.
Yeah. I guess we played some more Star Wars recently. So FFG Star Wars, which, if you don't know, FFG laid off a bunch of people, including their entire role-playing game staff, I guess.
Kind of a shame there. That's good writing come out of there.
Well, supposedly they're going to go to freelancers, and keep everything going. I don't know. You can see over my shoulder here. Those are my Star Wars books. I think that whole stack is FFG, I think. Yeah, it is. Genesis, Genesis L5R. Yeah.
You know, make you wonder.
So I guess we'll see. Yeah, they released the Keyforge book, but that was already in the pipeline. So we'll see in the next year if they release anything, or if like they lose the license like they did. So yeah, this is my Cubicle 7 stuff, and I think this is my 40K stuff. Yeah, and this is just a random one in the middle. This is D100s, I think. Pretty sure. That's what it looks like.
Oh gosh, D100s. Yeah, no. I mean, I've been looking like every time I go places now. They have different types of core books and stuff like that. I've been looking to kind of build a little mini library there because it is easier to look stuff up than a PDF, but at the same time, it's probably more expensive than cocaine, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, if I'm like really going to like plan out a big game, I like to be able to have the book because I won't be at my computer, so I can just like look it up, read it. It's easier on the eyes a bit. But yeah.
Slide so much faster.
It'd be a searchable. It depends, right? It's searchable, but yeah.
Well, us one screeners can't always look at.
That's true.
But I'll tell you what though. One of the things I've seen yesterday was kind of surprised me. I've never played it. Heard great things about it. Was Zweihander. I saw the core rulebook for Zweihander. That thing is humongous.
Zweihander. This is the revised edition of Zweihander, and this is Main Gouge up here. Yep. Interesting system. Good system. Need to play more of it. Yep.
We had Darren ran that one, right?
Mm-hmm. Terror of Talheim, I believe it is. Yeah. So, there was some talk about running a one-shot this month, but not going to happen. So, yeah.
Maybe well again. That's the nice thing about one shots is that you could kind of fit them. If everybody's there, they're there. If not, then it just goes on the back burner and game ready to play.
Yeah, I'm hoping to run one shot a month at least. That's my goal. Because the length that I need to run The Witcher for to bring it all to a conclusion is going to be a while, and I'll get bored if I'm doing nothing else. So I'm going to have to put one shots in there. Plus, I'm going to want to do Heroes and Hardships to do more testing. So I'm going to have to run one shots in there, or just take a break like a month and be like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So, but
and I mean, the Witcher is looking to be a blockbuster, right? So yeah, definitely
we'll
needs to take its time.
Yeah.
So many players.
It'll be big, that's for sure. It'll be long. So almost everybody from last season is back. So, the main characters.
Minus a few, so I ain't too bad.
That's a couple, yeah. But yeah, that should be long. When we did our first session the other day, and do our next one next week, and then I think there's 2 more at the end of the month or something. I don't know, but there'll be a couple. Yeah. So, as far as one shots go, we'll see. We'll see what I run next. I'll probably try to tend to do things that I haven't run a lot of, or something new. I want to run Mothership, for instance.
I heard some good things about that. Never looked at it. I've only recently heard about it.
Yep. It's basically a generic Alien, Now Alien, the real Alien is out. I got that book over there too somewhere. Yeah, that's in. You can't see it, but that's in the free login and Swedish role-playing game stack. So yeah.
How's that look?
It looks. I haven't really read much of it, but it looks nice. It's. I mean, it uses the Mutant Year Zero system, which is kind of cool. They're D6s, and it's a dice. Dice pool system. Sixes are successes. I think that's how it works. Sixes are successes, and nothing else is a success. So.
See, I've never played the Mutant Year Zero. I've seen it. I watched the.
I played 2 session. Yeah.
Unfortunate, because it looks like it could be pretty good. Not necessarily my cup of tea all around, just with the whole premise of it all, but the system looked pretty decent.
Yeah. So I mean that not only they have several role playing games that uses that, right? They have Coriolis. What else? Does Tales from the Loop use it? I can't remember. I don't think so. Forbidden Lands uses it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Those for sure. I know MYZ is actually an OGL too. So the system is, so you can actually create games using the MYZ system if you want.
Yeah. I mean, always want.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just Forbidden Lands. I looked at that when I. That's one of the things, 'cause I heard a lot of good things. I was looking for, like usual, when I stumble across different types of games that I end up either picking up or looking a little harder at. And I was looking for a certain subject, and then so when you search it, like I think this time I was looking at something to do with some world building of some sort. I can't really remember offhand, and I kept seeing Forbidden Lands mentioned, and it did not fit what I wanted, but at the same time, it had me look through it, and I was like, well, that's pretty decent.
It's a hex crawler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was looking up, was hex stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it looks unique, and it's. I can't say it's something that it's another thing that's probably not my cup of tea, because there's certain things I wasn't too fond of.
Yeah. What else? I know there's one game that I'm super excited about because it is my favorite system of all time, of any game I've ever played. It is Legends of the Five Rings 4th edition. So Heroes and Hardships takes a lot from L5R4E. It's a D10 dice pool system, right? So with exploding dice. So it does take that from there. It's just absolutely my favorite system, one of my favorite settings, and I just cannot wait for that to start. So it'll be a couple months probably, but I'm excited for that. So
yeah. I mean, that's been talked about. L5R has been talked about at least I think since I started with you.
I didn't want to run it. That was the thing. I wanted to play it, so I figured if I ran it, no one else would ever run it, and so I wanted to play it, not run it. Sometimes you just have a game you want to play, right? You don't want to run it. You just want to play that game for whatever reason. So
it's enjoyable. So I mean, it's
sure.
bottom line, So
I mean, I'm usually less selective on what I play versus what I run, but. Yeah, this is just one that I just wanted to run or play instead. So,
well, I think it's almost been ran twice now.
I had but one of them. So the one that was going to get run by Lucid was the FFG version. So that's completely different. That uses narrative dice and that stuff. I'm talking about 4th edition. So 4th edition is D10s. Right, so that was from AG. So
Oh yeah, whole different
Alderac.
ball game.
Yeah, so it's very different. But I almost ran a one shot of it once, but didn't happen. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I bet you are. I mean, that's what's on. I know it. It does look very interesting. I think it was very fun play. If I feel like I'd be a fish out of water in it because I don't know a lot of the
Yeah.
not necessarily the lore, but I mean it does closely go with like thoughts and history of the era. And
Yeah, it's like a blend of many Asian cultures. I mean, but that East Asian, but mostly samurai-ish. But there's other influences as well. But yeah, anything you're looking forward to or would like to see play or run?
Oh well, I mean,
specifically,
right now, GLH is one game I've been looking forward to playing again.
Sure.
It's fun. Genesis is something that grew on me. I mean, when I first seen it, it's kind of like, what are all these dice? Another gimmick to get me to spend my money or whatever have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm looking forward to playing, of course, is Caesar Raids even more now that following the H&H system there. That'd be kind of a really fun way to do it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do we got coming up? I mean, I think I'm pretty scant on campaigns.
I mean, is there any system that you would like to see run that there's no plans for it to be run or anything like that, or game in general?
Oh, I've always got my old standby weakness. Something I haven't seen in a little bit. I don't think a little bit of Asaph. Only maybe now with the Heroes and Hardships instead of a system that actually doesn't break itself as you go along.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that I'll ever run a Song of Ice and Fire again. And I mean, I ran it forever, right? But
yeah,
Heroes and Hardships does everything it does, but maybe does it better. I don't know.
Born on necessity, right? I mean, if Asaph was perfect, who knows? But it filled the need, for the time being. I think, especially for me.
I mean, yeah, sure. I loved it. I mean, but it's just kind of doesn't scale. Sometimes it's hard to see that before you put something out, right? It's hard to see, how the fuck is this going to scale when you have been playing it for X amount of years, right? Or when you're fighting at super high levels, like with 5 fighting and 5 longswords. Combat defense doesn't scale. So
yeah.
It's why I think games like that they should always have defensive actions, because having just a stagnant 2-hit thing, it's hard to scale, because a lot of them are derivatives of other attributes. So you have to raise all these attributes to raise your defensive thing, and it just is harder to do. But if I can use my weapon skill versus your weapon skill to block you, it's going to scale, right? Automatically.
Amazingly.
Just automatically, just naturally. Right? So,
and it's yeah, I think that's like a big draw right there. I'm looking at it as not scaling. I'm looking at it as that's just how it should be, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's I heard horror stories. I mean, they're not necessarily horror stories, but stories that would make like my skin crawl if I was running, especially as a rookie GM with the system. Of people beat to death people with their bare hands, like taking on armies, right? So it's like that tells you.
That's just the warfare system. The warfare system broke too. And the creator of that system, I'm a big fan of, right? So just so.
Oh yeah. It's,
he knows if he happens to see this, and might write for his company from time to time. So, um, yeah. So yeah. So it's a good system. I think that the second edition from the first edition really was not much changed besides abilities that I can recall. I didn't play the first edition very much. Second edition is not Robert J. Schwall, but somebody else that did that. But I just Green Ronin did not really support it like they should have. I think there's probably a lot of behind the scenes problems with the slowest writer in the world, right? Which I believe had to sign off on every project they did. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean that's the perfect storm, right? And I don't know, sometimes I feel like even if that wasn't the case, or even if it was the case, I still feel like there's stuff that Green Running could have did to enhance, your gameplay, right?
I mean, they just tried to. I mean, I don't know how popular it was. I can't imagine it wasn't popular at least around the time when, Game of Thrones came out. The show, right? Yeah. So that had to push the popularity of that system up. But I don't know, man. It just
Well, it kind of varies, right? Because like if you think that, like, to me, I think they peaked maybe something with when they first came out and they got the people who read the books. Because like I'm not saying I know numbers or anything like that of anything, but I feel like a lot of them that watched the TV show and didn't read the books, aren't the ones that are really out there looking for the ASOF game to play in a tabletop environment, right?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's probably just mostly people who are playing D&D, and they're like, oh, how do I make my D&D character play like this? Oh, what? How can I do that? There's no magic in this. So, I mean, how's it? Oh, wait, there's this other role-playing game that,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's...
that's
I don't know how many things I've seen on social media. How do I make a Witcher? Buy the fucking Witcher tabletop game. That's how. I mean...
The biggest thing is breaking them away from the teeth of D&D, right? Expanding horizons.
There's no D&D pile. There's a 3.5 like bookshelf over there, but there's.
Where's your 4E stack?
I got the core books. It's down in a cubby somewhere. I don't know. It's around. It's around.
But yeah, it's just I think a lot of people are comfortable with D&D. They don't like breaking from it. Some do, and they go on and explore. I'm not saying D&D is a bad system at all, but I feel like there's a lot out there, and you'll find something that fits you a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, D&D is like like anything. It's good to play, come back to, but when you're out there and you see what's out there and you play more, you realize like their systems just do certain things a lot better.
If you're looking to play fantasy superheroes, sure, play D&D. If you want to play anything else, don't play D&D. Because that's what it is. It's fantasy superheroes. So,
and it's about as mainstream as you can get with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is a little frustrating. I'm glad that some systems like Call of Cthulhu are getting more popular. I was reading something the other day that suggested heavily that Call of Cthulhu has gotten more popular on Roll20 because it was featured on Critical Role. So that's very possible. Who knows? Because it's the second most run system on Roll20.
Well, I mean, just looking at COG too, like first you look at the sheet and skills and stuff. Like, it looks like something that can emulate a lot of things, even if you're not running a Lovecraftian horror.
Well, I mean,
you can use it for like.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, that's to me what sticks out with it for me. It's D100 simple. You got you could get some type of bonus and stuff, but it ain't like there's not like a extreme amount of crunch like some other systems out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of attractive once people see it.
Well, here's a pro tip for people out there. There are other Call of Cthulhu-ish games that aren't Call of Cthulhu, based on the BRP, right? Basic role playing, and which is the fundamental system that Call of Cthulhu is built on top of. And I mean, there are other games, right? So I mean, there's actually basic role playing. There's just a generic basic role playing book, which is like your basically GURPS or Heroes of Hardships or Genesis or whatever system agnostic system you want to, or setting agnostic system that you want to use.
Piece it together. I think that's one of the first D100 systems that I've seen when I first started getting into
BRP
gaming. Yeah. Never. I can't say I don't know if I've ever played it, but it's.
I Call of Cthulhu, you played it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's an offshoot. I mean, a lot of the
with the Call of Cthulhu stuff put on top of it, really.
Exactly. It's a.
I mean, it's more than that, but I mean.
But it's truly it's I'm a fan. I got a few PDFs with some basic role play stuff, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just that it's it's something that like you said, like pro tip, it's because not a lot of people know about. They just know about Cthulhu, but maybe it's a step now. Like maybe people will start stepping away from D&D and I mean even Cthulhu is a big step for people to be playing Cthulhu instead of D&D. How do I make my Lovecraft?
Oh fuck, it's completely different, right? I mean. You're not a fucking fantasy superhero in Call of Cthulhu, right? I mean, you're not.
No, you're a grease mark.
You're basically the complete opposite, yeah. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many things that I want to play and so many things that I want to run. And it's man, when the fuck am I gonna get time?
Now let me ask you this: all the systems we tried and played, which one would you think would be worth revisiting to you to play? Like, which one would you want to go back and give it another go?
As a player or GM, or either?
Both.
Dang, that's a tough one. It's almost like I'm trying to think what I've played and what I've, run.
I mean, there's a lot.
I would like to take a better look at Fate, because when I hear Fate described to me, it is definitely not my thing. It just seems like very, very kind of too simplistic for me, I guess. I don't know if that's the word, but I mean, it's just not something that's down my alley. And when I played it, it was like a jokey, memey game, and it was a fun game, don't get me wrong, but I didn't really see much of the system and really understand really what I was doing. So there's that on that kind of a thing that I can think of. As far as running, what would I like to run again? Man, that is a damn good question. Well, I think it's probably Conan, just because I just liked it so much. As far as that goes,
it's definitely fun. I enjoyed it when we played it.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I've been trying to find an excuse to run another Conan game, but
I mean, don't need much. All you gotta do is
I just time and
yeah. Come on,
effort.
we have endless amount of time. Right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I have an amazing amount of time. Uh, yeah, I wish that was the case. I wish that I could play every. I just wish I could play every game I have, and hardback. Right, that's probably a fifth of what I have like digitally. You know,
Yeah.
and I mean.
Yeah. That would be nice. That'd be the life.
Yeah, I mean, I look behind me. I think I've played all that stuff. I've played all that. Oh no, because I haven't played that. That's Infinity up there. Haven't played that. That's my 2D20 right behind my head. I mean, it's just yeah. I would like to run Delta Green again too. I would like to do more Delta Green. How about you?
Going back to play. I think I would definitely. God, I can't remember. I think I'm gonna go back and say something I maybe not have played, but it's been played before. And that would of course be Pendragon. So I'd love to see that and go and go through. I'm not sure how it was ran the first time. I heard some stories, but
The game was actually good.
yeah.
Yeah, the game was good.
So obviously, like I said, that goes back in B&B history, which I think counts because it's a revisit.
It's
right?
almost before B&B technically. And it started before B&B was B&B. We were doing all our communications via Facebook at the time.
Oh goodness.
Mhm.
Oh goodness.
Mhm.
As far as like GM, I haven't GM much. Just a few one shots, a little 3-parter, I think, or 2. So I wouldn't mind going back and looking at gangsters because I know they somebody got the license and someone's trying to do some updating. Right?
Oh yeah, I saw that. Somebody ran Gangbusters, or somebody released Gangbusters OSR version, right? So I don't know what the difference is, but
Me neither. I know it's Mark Hunt, I think, who has it. So I've thrown a few things on his social media stuff saying it. Let me know when it's gonna be released, and I
it's
failed to
released.
buy.
It's
Oh
out.
yeah, I know, I know. I just haven't. I seen it, and I'm like, yeah, not right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to buy it and pick it up. Just one of those things that I think we should support some oldies and goodies.
Oh yeah.
But and give it a look through, see what's new about it. So I wouldn't mind revisiting in that aspect with it. But
Yeah.
I mean, low fantasy gaming. That's another thing. I looked at the folder of it today. Of the PDFs I got for it in there, and didn't open it.
I saw it. I saw the folder it was in. I got old school essentials the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, mostly as research for Earl of Five stuff, but yeah, I got it the other day. Check it out.
Sometimes you find stuff like that, right? I mean, you might find something like, yeah, this might be kind of fun, and in the long run, you got stuff that you can use for your own things, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's I got that. I got RuneQuest. Yep. So RuneQuest 6 edition, I believe. That's also kind of based off BRP.
Yes.
So all kinds of comes from BRP and just kind of spreads out. But
those D100s, they're contagious like that.
Well, Chaosium, really, right?
Yeah.
They've really made their bones with the D100 stuff.
That reminds me. I was looking at that. I think I mentioned it a while ago. God, I can't remember the name of it right now, but the one where you're basically religious zealots fighting the evils of the. I picked it up, I think, from one of those.
Zealots.
I'm pulling it up right now. So
Religious zealots.
It's a RuneQuest. It was done by Mongoose. What one of them was. Give me one. I get to my RPG folder.
While we're waiting for that, if you're out there watching this, and if you're interested in you know, indie games, you know, basically not D&D, although we play D&D here sometimes too. But if you're interested in games that are smaller games, you know, OSR games, new games, uh, tiny indie games. I mean, we are some of the people to really show these things off. We have 2 indie publishers that play in our group. So the producer of Demon Gate, Brandon Williams, plays with us, and then me. Um, from Earl of Fife Games, Jason Duff is my name, and we just, you know, we really do want to showcase those games, indie games, and they don't even have to be tiny indie games, right? They can be, you know, Modifius, right? Modifius is pretty big now, but you know, just the games that aren't, you know, FFG or, you know, Wizards of the Coast or Paizo. I mean, those games are just fine. They're fine, right? We play FFG games at the Yin Yang. We play a lot of those. But, you know, all these, just because you're big doesn't mean it's best. Okay. Particularly if you want to like compare D&D to things. I mean, I don't have any problem with D&D necessarily, but there's so much more out there. That's what really bugs me. And I know I'm kind of going on a little spiel here, but people that refuse to even look at anything else or consider anything else, it's like you've had vanilla ice cream your entire life. And you like vanilla ice cream. I like vanilla ice cream just fine. But then you have some other flavor, you know, Josh and John's flavor. Well, it just blows your mind because you've only had vanilla ice cream your entire life. There's nothing wrong with vanilla ice cream, but there's so much more out there. So if you want to take that analogy and run with it, please do, because that's my just begging people to try other games. Okay. If you're watching our channel, you probably already do. But if you happen to see this and you play D&D and, you know, D&D is for you and you love D&D, that's fine. Just try something else too. See if you like it. So, anyway.
Could not be better said. You know, I couldn't agree 100% more.
Yeah. Anyway, Zealots. Zealots. What was it?
Dust Vault.
Was it?
Dust.
What?
They get the legend. Deuce Vault.
Mm-mm.
It's from the original one I seen. It was from Legend, which is done by Mongoose.
Yeah,
I
no.
picked it up. Was it? I picked it up on a sale, one of those bundle sales, from Bundle Hope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's all Rune Quest slash basic role playing, you know, Chosium.
Games, yeah.
Yeah, so it's gone through many different hands here. It's all owned by Chosium, I think, altogether. Like overall, I think that's who owns it. So that's been one of those things I was really recently just looking at. I think it's an interesting topic. You know, it's just one of those ones where you start off and you start off in a holy order type thing. It harkens back to the you know, early medieval times, and you go around and you investigate looking for heretics and demons and all sorts of you know, bumping ugly things in the night.
Nice.
So
yeah, there's just so much out there. I mean, I consider myself fairly knowledgeable in this hobby, and I'd never heard that. So,
yeah. I mean, it's another one. That's from like I said, the legend system. I think was Mongoose who's run with it, which is what I happen to snag. But I think it runs off Rune. Like I think the Rune Quest 2 was the first system with it. I think.
Interesting.
So,
yeah.
Then And then what was it that I was looking at the other day? I was running off of RuneQuest 6. Since that's what got us on the topic. There's a setting. I don't remember
It's
now.
using RuneQuest 6, but it's a different setting. It's not Golthana or whatever.
Glorithon. Wasn't that the one that then they had go through like 3 different name changes? Well, Mithras.
Well, yeah, so my understanding how that worked is like some guys that worked for Chaosium and probably on RuneQuest split off, so they just, I mean, systems cannot be copyrighted. If people want to know this, you cannot copyright a mechanical aspect of anything. Can't do it. You can copyright how you write about it, how you describe it, the text that you use to write it, that can be copyrighted. But actually how a mechanic works cannot be copyrighted. I could come out with a system. I could come out with D&D exactly if I wanted to. I wouldn't be. I mean, I would have to change all the text and verbiage and stuff, but you can do that. So, Mithras is essentially RuneQuest. Very, very similar. RuneQuest 5, I think. With some changes, but very similar.
And I think now they even have like competing settings. I think
Mithras doesn't have a setting.
Well, they got the Mithras Rome, Mithras.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then I think there's like more RuneQuest versions of the same thing.
Yeah, they have like Mithras has Rome. It has a Celtic one, and then it has a Greek one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's another one. I thought we were gonna get able to play it at some point, but it died out. Maybe one day it'll be brought forth again.
Yeah, I hope so. I would like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would like to play that.
I'm not the biggest fans of D100s, but that one at least there's a lot of flair to it that works in mechanically as well, which is kind of, usually fluff is fluff, but this one actually works mechanically.
Yeah, I was thinking about running that Greek one. I can't remember the name of it offhand.
Yeah, I got it. Hang on, I'll be able to tell you. Well, maybe
I have the PDF. I have no. Constantinople. That's not it.
I mean, I got it back in the day before I named my folders logically after the so it's like named after a date.
Mithras.
I got Mythic Britain, Mythic. Hang on, I'm going through. I got RuneQuest 6 versions of Mythic Britain here. I got Mythic Constantinople, Britain, Classic Fantasy, and Rome. So it might be one I don't have.
It is. Begins with a K. I think. Oh, there it is. Shores of Coratina.
Ooh, I might have to look.
Coratina. Mm-hmm.
Now what's that like? Because I know the Constantinople one here is I think it's like it's based off just a city, just a short.
Yeah, I've not heard that one. No, this one's a 240-page rule book.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, it's a big one. And it's like a Greek analog. It's not Greece, but it's a Greek analog. Yeah.
Hey, it works though. That's one I don't have. I might have to pick it up.
It's an Electrum seller too. So a lot of them on drive through. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it came out in 2014 too. It's been a while.
Yeah, well, see, I'm surprised I don't have.
Yeah, that they all seem cool because I like that. I do really like that historical fantasy kind of setting, right? That's kind of like how, well, um, that's Bushido, for instance, kind of. Spoilers, but um, yeah, the historical fantasy setting I really dig, and then after Death to Bushido, I kind of want to do like a like a like Wessex Mercia time frame for England. That's kind of the next thing I want to do. Yeah, so.
See, I think that'd be amazing because I think a lot of the Dark Age ones like hit too much on the fantasy side.
Yeah,
like
very low.
Legends.
You just got to take a very low fantasy, right? You want, I think you want to, as a GM or as a writer, whatever you're doing, make the players wonder. Is this real, right? Is it really fantastical, or is it just kind of my superstition? Right? That's what you want to do. You want to do that as long as you can. And then so eventually the payoff is whichever it is, right? It's either there's no fantasy or there is. And it always should be low. When you get like big and fantastical, that's fine, but that's more D&D, Pathfinder, and other whatever. But like that's not necessarily that interesting for that kind of a setting, right? Yeah. If not, it's not historical fantasy anymore. It's fantasy.
Oh, yeah. And maybe players never do find out if it was real or it's not, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's still. Maybe they find something. Maybe they think something's fantastical, and they go and they find out it's not fantastical. But that doesn't mean it's the fantasy isn't there.
No.
So.
I think that would be a really good. I think I'm a huge fan like the Dark Age stuff because it's for one, there's a lot of room, for creativity at the same time, So, but like it just depends on the time period. You're looking pre-Alfred or post-Alfred.
I haven't decided. Probably during. Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting time right there.
So, right, it's obviously a playoff like The Last Kingdom in a way, but I wanted to. This is very conceptual. I'm in the conceptualized space of that because that's going to be. That might be a stretch goal for the Kickstarter actually, but it's. I want people to be able to play. Hey, you can play a Saxon. You can play a Dane. You can play a Briton. Give them like this kind of So I don't know exactly what I want to do with it exactly. I just like that as a historical fantasy setting. So.
Oh yeah, I preach it. I don't think it gets enough love anywhere. You get touches of it in places.
Yeah, The Last Kingdom is really one of the, only things you see, right?
Yeah, I think we're due another season. It's been like 4 years, right? Once every 4 years they come out.
I think it's been two. Yeah.
But. Yeah, it's really good. It's a really good series. I makes me want to read the books about it.
I've heard they're very good.
Yes, I seen one at least at Barnes and Nobles yesterday, and I should have picked it up, but I was being rushed out the door. So next time I go, I might have to give it a breeze through to see if it's something that could catch me or not.
Yeah, I've heard it's good. But
I've heard the same. I mean, right now I think they're hawking the Witcher books really big over there next to G.R. Martin.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's just not talk of him.
Well, he's gotten what? Didn't he say? Don't we have a date now? Is it the summertime? Are we supposed to be seeing a book?
I haven't heard anything.
20 years from now.
I stopped paying attention though. So.
Well, maybe he's listening. Read that book, sir. Kindly. It'll be the last one, I think. I don't think you're gonna get a. I don't think you can get to the close. You have to watch the last episode of Game of Thrones on the TV.
Sim, stop.
See how it all ends.
Stop with your heresy. Heresy. The Emperor protects. I gotta get in. I'm in my 40K zone for tomorrow.
Oh.
The Emperor protects, so we'll see if he protects. Might be doubtful.
Is there going to be any mass destructive weapon that you're going to make me mess with?
No, I don't think so. No weapons of mass destruction this time.
See, there's two things for me. One, that means I can't increase my kill count. Two, it means no one can, beat my kill to death rate.
It's true. You're just like, I'm safely ahead.
Yes. I got some number padded there.
Yeah. Yeah, you both rolled for influence, but failed miserably, I'm guessing. I saw briefly, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be the majority of my rolls, I think. That's the curse.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's just the way it is.
I can have 80 and I'll still fail 90% of the time. Unless it doesn't matter, in which case I'm going to get a 1.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it works.
Perception to see if a girl's looking at you or something.
Yeah. I always roll bad. And I always think there will be.
You play like 3 or 4 D100 games a month. You should be used to it. And Call of Cthulhu, there's there's no way to mitigate anything in that.
In Darren's Call of Cthulhu, I have an interesting character because when I rolled, it was below average in all my stats except for 1, and that was my character size. So I rolled with it, and I got myself a 99 credit weighting, and that's all my guy good for is Warbucks. Going around with Charlie and his angels here. You know?
Sure.
So it's like, literally, they rely on...
I can't believe none of you guys have died yet.
Oh, we've come very close. See, that's the thing. That's when I get my lucky roll. Right? I think I've been almost dead twice in that game. Where it's like, oh, we're rolling and see what happens and rolls, and it's like, oh yeah, no, I couldn't have rolled better, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like right now, for instance, we're in another dire strait. Once again, my character has been knocked unconscious and captured. So now we're released.
Didn't you when you guys were in England? You were in like bedridden half the time.
Yes. I got brave, and he tried to protect his friend, and tussled with the guy on the stairs. Worst idea ever. Got stabbed and thrown down the stairs, and ended up in the hospital. And then I got shot. Just so that then I got shot after that. After I healed from getting thrown down the stairs, I got shot and almost killed. And that was the 3-week bedtime thing for him. So yeah, D100s kick my butt all the time. Even the character I used during my other character's downtime got killed.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So nonstop. The only thing saving me is my richness.
Well, that's what you need.
That's it.
Can do wonders. All right. Well, I'm pretty exhausted. So, you got anything else?
No, I think it's about that time.
Yep. So out there, thanks for watching. There's been some viewers here and there. Got any questions? There's a couple ways to get a hold of us. Easiest way is to join our Discord fan club server. You can find that in the beginning of the front screen or whatever of our YouTube channel. I'll put it in the description of this video as well. Just click that. Come on in. Talk to us if you want to play games with us. There's a little bit of a process. We don't play games with everybody just because we like to play games a certain way. We like to really dive into role play, character development, story plot, all that kind of thing. We're not just murder hobos and that sort of stuff. So that is a requirement for us. Plus, you have to have requirements for availability and mesh with the group. We're pretty chill, but all that stuff. Anyway, you can come in there if you just want to chat with us. That's cool too. If you don't want to play games, it's awesome. Whatever. So go there if you want to talk to us. You can also leave comments on the descriptions of our videos, and if it makes sense, I'll respond. It's usually me. And I think that's about it. We don't have these talks nearly enough. We didn't really have very many people today available. But Sim and I are here to gab a little bit, and so we have, and I think that's it for tonight. Our schedule this week is pretty packed. I think it's pretty much every day except Friday and the weekend. So you're going to have 4 games in a row: Dark Heresy, Grasshopper Lies Heavy, Masks, and Chaos 6010 AD. So we might have a game on the weekend. It's TBD. Don't know yet. Probably will be Cypher System if we do. So that would be cool because we've not done any Cypher System games yet, which is odd because we've done 67 systems, and we're pretty proud of that. Proud of willing to play different games, and it's not like something we've done on purpose almost, not like, I want to do this just to have that number go up, sort of thing. So I have plenty of long-term campaigns, like we were saying earlier, Masks is 42 sessions deep, for instance, that kind of thing. So anyway, like I said, visit us on Discord, give us a like, please subscribe. Hit the bell. We usually release our videos at 4 p.m. every day. We do. It's not necessarily every day. It's at least every other day, I would say, mostly. And then you will get a notification of what's coming out. And if you have anything you want us to run or see, feel free to come to Discord and tell us. With that, thanks everybody. Sim, thanks for talking with me for a little bit. And yep, we'll talk to everyone later on the next Matt or Tet Talk. Have a good night, everyone.